I've got two bikes here from Isinwheel. This one's called an M40 and this one's called a U5. And I want to show you what I like about the U5 over the M40. Now this is a more expensive bike. I paid for both of these. I am being sponsored by Isinwheel on this particular bike. Here's what I like about this one over that one. And the first thing is the handlebars. That one folds down like this. Whereas on this one over here, what you have to do is to get a wrench, take this off, pull it up, and it's going to be loose. The next thing I like about this is you can adjust the handlebars, and it's got this, I'm calling this a D-shaped stem here, where it's actually got a flat on one side which aligns it with the wheel. So you can adjust the height on this without losing that alignment. Whereas on this one, you have to actually manually align it by eye, which is not a big deal, but it's just, this is more convenient. Another thing is the saddle height. On this one, I had to actually buy another shaft here, which is appropriate for my height. I used to be 6'1", I think I still am, but this is now set to the correct height. The one that comes with it is a little bit short, and I did another video on that. This one has a good range. This is pretty good for my height. It's maxed out, and let me just show you the range. That goes all the way down there. So you have a really good range for the saddle height. On the M40, you don't get anywhere near that. Now the next thing is the battery. If you notice here, it's got the basket on the front, and the battery is actually in front of the handlebars. Over here, the battery is actually enclosed in the frame. So I'm going to show you where the battery is on this one. So you can change the battery. You lift this up and you can just pull this out. You have to have the key in there. Actually, let me just do this. I'm going to turn this. Okay, it goes like that. You would have to take the key out, and this will come out. So this is the battery. I'm going to put that back in. The only thing I don't like about this is the key. You know, the location of the key. It's a little bit awkward. But I mean, you have to make some compromise. So I'm going to put this key back in here. And there's a locking bolt that you can see on the side. When you turn this, that locks in there. When you turn it to this position, this is actually to turn on the power to the bike. So I'm going to turn that to the off position, but it's still locked in place. So that has to be, let's see, do I have that correctly located? Okay, now I didn't put the little handle back in. So let's see if we get that closed like that. And there we go. And again, you actually have to pull this before you can remove that lever. So that's another safety device right there. This is a good bike to get because they're making the same battery for several bikes that are on the market. And incidentally, at the time I'm taking this video, this is a really great deal compared to those other ones. What you get here is by far the best deal. You have the dual shocks on the forks on the front. The tail light has brake lights. When you apply either brake, you get a brake light. Another thing is you can turn on the lights from the control over here. You do a long press on the up arrow and you'll see that the light is on the front. This is the Isinwheel U5 Pro. I'm assuming that these features only come on the Pro model, and also you only get suspension forks on the Pro model. Another thing compared to this one, this has a small display, which is fine for me. I don't mind it. But this one, you get a nice large display. You can even tell when the headlight's on. I'm going to push down on the top arrow, and then the lights are off. It's nice that you have the indication there whether the lights are on or off. Another thing is that you get You get an actual bell rather than the electronic sound that you get on the M40. What both of these bikes have is a folding frame. I showed you this one. What you have to do on this one actually is you have to pull this one up. I forgot how to do this, and it comes apart like that. So also this has a replaceable battery, which you can disconnect like this. You have to pull this apart like that, and the battery comes out like this. They both have the same Shimano 7-speed gears on the back, and they both have 5 levels of power assistance, which goes from between 10 miles and 20 miles per hour. One point about these is that the laws that they have these days on most, I think most public bike tracks, they will only allow what they call it Type 2 bikes, which have a maximum speed of 20 miles per hour. You'll see other more powerful bikes, but the reason these bikes are popular is because these will not exceed 20 miles per hour. So practically speaking, I like these because I want to get a little bit of exercise, but I also want some power assistance, mainly going uphill and on the straight when I want to go a little bit quicker. And they both do that very well. One other difference is that the battery in here, I think, is a 48 volt. I think this is the 36 volt. Practically speaking, I don't feel much difference. This is supposed to have an 800 watt peak motor, 500 watt, I guess, whatever you call it, the normal. This is supposed to have this might even be a 500 watt peak, I'm not sure. But the battery capacity, this is the 10 ampere hour, and I think this is a 7.5 ampere hour. So I think things balance out where they're very similar in performance. Let's break down this bike. So first thing we can do, we can just drop the handlebars like that. Pull this out like that. This folds down here. Get that into that position, and then I'm just going to put the kickstand up, and these pedals, let's see, how do we do this? Push them in, pedals fold up like that, both sides. I pull on this catch here, and this folds like this. And I could actually move that out of the way, so that will stand on the ground like that. Okay, and this should go, that goes all the way down, I think. Maybe I need to release this a little bit. Honestly, I think that might just, yeah, that makes it better. So, just fits nicely there. If I were to pick this up, this is actually not that difficult to carry. So if I wanted to put this in the trunk, oops, I'm going to have the handlebars on the top. That seems to work the best. And I'm also going to put this down. And just maneuver this to where there, and that's actually pretty compact. So this is my second attempt. So it looks like I got this in there a little bit better this time. So there's actually still plenty of space in the trunk. That's a pretty efficient use of space.